pjesë të portalit Presheva.com, ekipi I portalit tonë gjatë ditës së sotme ka qëndruar në ambientet e ambasadës Norvegjez, akredituar këtu në qytetin e Beogradit, ku do të realizojmë një intervistë me ambasadorin e Norvegjez në Beograd, shkëlqësinë e tij Arne Bjørnstad. Tema e diskutimit do të fokusohet lidhur me hapjen e kufirit Miratot Sollojan, temë kjo mjaft aktuale për shqiptarët e Luginës së Preshevës, me theks veçantë për qytetarët e komunës sonë. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador.
Welcome.
Kufiri Miratot Sollojan, I cili dekada të tëra është mbyllur për qytetarët e Luginës së Preshevës, llogaritet si represion, por jo vetëm për qytetarët e komunës së Preshevës, por edhe për gjithë ata qytetarë që jetojnë jashtë kufirit, që do të thotë në pjesën e Maqedonisë së Veriut. Është më rëndësi të dimë se sa është I informuar korpusi diplomatik I akredituar këtu në Beograd, me theks veçantë ambasada e Norvegjez.
Well, first of all, I would say that the mayor of Presheva has been very active in informing both me and my colleagues about this issue, but we've also been informed about the same issues from the North Macedonian side. So, and we have a group of embassies who work together to exchange information about southern Serbia. So I think we're quite well aware of how important this is. It's just a pity it's taken so long time, but I think we're more than only the Norwegian embassy working on this issue now. So I'm trying to sort out the problem that the closure of this border station has created for the local population on both sides of the border.
Çfarë prioriteti kanë në përgjithësi për zgjidhjen e kësaj problematike? Institucionet e Republikës së Serbisë, por edhe të Maqedonisë së Veriut.
Well, I think the first thing which needs to be done now is actually to get the formal agreement between the two states. So actually partly on doing this, but also exactly where it should be positioned, because there have to be some major investments, because the old border station, they're not fulfill the EU criteria. So there will have to be some major investment, and then they'll have to know exactly where to build it, and all these technical plans. But I think the most important now is to get the agreement. They have agreed to do it. The question is actually, they need to be formalized, and they have to decide on all these details. And I think that's now the priority.
Kryetari I Komunës së Preshevës Shqipëri Maripi, duke U bazuar në kontaktet me korin diplomatik dhe me institucionet gjetse të Republikës së Serbisë, ka konfirmuar datën një korrekt si datë e hapjes kufirit pjesës kufitare mes Miratocit dhe Llojanit. Keni informacione shtesë?
Well, when it comes to actually opening, when it will open, last year, we really had hoped it would be possible to do it this year. The problem is that actually then we discovered all these more technical issues of how to make this, because both North Macedonia and Serbia want to join the European Union, and it's actually, there is no, it would be a waste to actually invest in the border station, which has to be rebuilt anyway, so it's better to build it according to the standards as would be between, say, Serbia and Croatia, or Serbia and Hungary. And that takes time. So I think we all, including some of my colleagues, we had hoped it would open this year, but we now see that the earliest it can open is actually next year, because all these technical issues have to be resolved, and we are still trying to work on it. And if everything goes according to plan, I hope it will open by next summer, but I cannot promise anything, because it's actually much more complex than we initially thought, partly because of the cabling and all these technical issues about fulfilling the modern demands for a border station.
Pak më parë keni vizituar Luginën e Preshevës, cila është përshtypja juaj për shqiptarët e tjerë?
Well, I've been several times in the Presheva Valley. Sometimes I've just been there a short time, and sometimes spent a bit longer, and it's an area with a great potential, and it's a pity that actually people in some large degree have been leaving the valley, and I hope that actually now with actually partly with this small border station, but also actually when the big border station, the main border station, which for obvious reasons the governments are giving the highest priority, when this is actually being modernized to be more efficient, I think it would be actually much easier to attract investments to the area, which is really the area needs.
Si percepton nga ju përshtypja opinionit publik shqiptarëve që jetojnë në pjesën jugore të Serbisë, se zhvillimi pothuajse në gjitha sferat ka ngecur në lugin të Preshevës dhe për këtë është humbur shpresa për mirëqenje në këtë vend?
Well, I'm tempted initially to start that wherever I go in Serbia, outside the big towns, people are complaining about the same thing, that they are lost out. But I think what especially in the Prešov Valley is probably that the discussions about the border issue has actually created increasing uncertainty. But I don't think actually the people in Prešov Valley has been more left out now. It's more about actually things take time, and you see development happening. You will see this now, the new border station. You will see the big border station being modernized. But things take time, and I can understand the impatience, and I can especially understand the impatience in view of these discussions about where the border should be.
Çfarë mund bëjnë organizatat ndërkombëtare me theks veçantë Ambasada e Norvegjisë për avancimin e drejtave shqiptarëve në lugin të Preshevës?
I think what we can do is actually continue what we are doing, actually having focus on the area, discussing with the governments, working with the local politicians and local NGOs as much as we do with the national authorities. I think that some of these issues are not specially linked, as I said, people, other places in Serbia and other neighboring countries as well, they often complain about the same things because everything seems to be happening in the capitals. And the further we get from the capitals, the more people feel forgotten. I'm not sure if it's actually the truth. I think it's even in countries like Norway, the people living far away from the city, from the main cities, they are complaining more or less about the same thing. But what we have to do is to keep attention to the issue, have a focus on Prešov Valley as we have of other actually parts of the periphery of Serbia and the neighboring countries, and work with the government and work with local people, and also actually see what can be done to attract investments, for instance, to the area.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Të nderuar krishkues, gjatë këtyre minutave realizuam intervistë me ambasadorin e Norvegjisë të akredituar në Beograd, për cilën folëm lidhur me hapjen e pikës kufitare Miratos Llojan dhe respektimin e drejtave shqiptarëve në jug të Serbisë. Ju falenderoj për vëmendjen, bashkë natën e mirë.